Good evening and welcome to America's Late News, Fox News at Night. I'm Trace Gallagher in Los Angeles. And breaking tonight, retail crime continues to cripple businesses across the country. And tonight, a glaring new example of how those committing crimes are protected while those trying to prevent crimes are punished. In moments, KTTH Seattle Talk radio host Jason Rantz will give us the social impact, and Vikas Bajaj will offer his always spot-on legal analysis. But we begin with Matt Finn live on the new push for Americans to just look the other way. Matt, good evening.
Good evening, Trace. This shocking new video out of Colorado is just the latest example of employees being scolded or even fired for trying to stop brazen thieves.
These guys are good. Look at them stealing. Really, bro? You gotta resort to this? Economy's not that bad.
The employee who recorded this viral video at King Soopers supermarket in Colorado on Father's Day was fired. Santino Barillo filmed the three shoplifters stealing hundreds of dollars of laundry detergent, and he removed the aluminum foil covering their license plate. Barillo says supermarket policy prohibits employees from physically engaging with thieves, although he says he just filmed them and did not touch them.
I would never let any criminal conduct slide, especially if it's happening right in front of me. I hope this changes the policy, the shoplifting policy, and gives power back to retail workers like myself.
Since this video, the driver in the green shirt in the center was arrested, but police are looking for the other two men who go by the names Robert and Bugsy. In a statement, the grocery store says it's disappointed by the increased level of crime, but is unable to comment on personnel matters. And you might recall in May, two Lululemon workers in the Atlanta area were fired after this shocking video captured them yelling at and chasing masked robbers out of their store before they called police. Lululemon stood by its decision to fire the two, saying it has a zero-tolerance policy for employees engaging with suspected robbers. And here in California, a state bill has already passed the Senate that would prevent employers from allowing untrained employees from engaging with robbers. The California Retail Association says it opens the door even wider for people to come in and steal. Trace.
Yeah, the door is wide open. Matt Finn, thank you. And to be honest, the Fox News Tonight Common Sense Department is still a bit angry about the case of Santino Barillo. As Matt said, he's the Colorado supermarket employee who got fired because he had the audacity to videotape three men stealing a carload of laundry detergent, apparently hoping for a clean getaway. Barillo, who's a former military police officer, said, quote, "If something happens right in front of me, I'm going to make it my business." And while he recorded the crime, Barillo noticed the suspects were actually the Keystone Cops of crooks, unable to load the car, get in, and get away. So Santino Barillo had time to peel back the tinfoil-covered license plate and reveal the plate number. And sure enough, police found the vehicle, and Barillo lost his job because he violated King Soopers' do not intervene policy. There was a time when Americans cheered the good guys and jeered the bad. Now the bad guys have laws protecting them. The good guys have policies that penalize. Santino Barillo says he was trying to help his community. King Soopers says, how dare he? Common sense says it was only a few years ago when the national mantra was, if you see something, say something. Now it's, if you see something, do nothing. Not exactly a winning slogan for a country that most believe is on the wrong track. Let's bring in criminal defense attorney and federal litigator Vikas Bajaj. Vic, great to have you on here. It appears like we are teaching people to just look the other way. That's not the way the legal system works in this country.
It's not the way it should work, but here we have the intersection of criminal law and civil law, meaning personal injury law. Here, it's very difficult to determine what the right outcome is. We do not want thieves. We do not want stores having their items taken at no cost. It costs all of us money by the insurance premiums we pay for our everyday life. However, if this individual interacted with these thieves and was stabbed or was in a physical altercation, who would be liable? It would be the store. If the thieves were hurt, who would they sue? The store. Now, let's have a little bit of forward-looking perspective here. Let's assume the store said, you're still going to remain employed, and let's keep you as a good employee because you stood up for what's right and not what's wrong. What if this happened again? Then surely the personal injury lawyers would say, Store, you had an opportunity to fire this person. We don't care that it's righteous or moral. You didn't do it. You should have known. You were on notice. Now the liability increases.
It's interesting because some of the other headlines and other cases, we can put these on the screen, why Michigan Kroger worker who confronted shoplifters says she was fired after 31 years. From the New York Post, Lululemon fired 2 employees that confronted masked robbers. From CBS News, former Circle K employee says she was fired for defending herself during a robbery. And the theme here, Vic, is that some of these people truly are defending themselves because these people are close and they are going into their territory. So you have a right to defend yourself.
Absolutely. And the distinction with the Circle K employee, now let's not forget, this lady was employed for 18 years with Circle K. So it's not as though she didn't know what was wrong or what was right. Now she's claiming self-defense, and that's what encouraged her to put her hand on the perpetrator in that case. There really is no right or wrong. The problem is when you have the bean counters involved and the personal injury lawyers involved, it's a liability control, and unfortunately the Good Samaritans lose their jobs. Hopefully this individual, like others, will find a job very quickly, but it's definitely not the right outcome.
Yeah, Vic, stand by if you will. We are also joined by KTTH Seattle Talk radio host and author of the upcoming book, What's Killing America, Jason Rantz. Jason, I want your take on what you think of this kind of turn the other cheek policy that's going on in a lot of these retail companies across the country.
I understand the policy. I understand the legal ramifications. We had a case here early this morning just outside of Seattle where a Good Samaritan got involved in an armed robbery and ended up getting shot in the leg. So I understand the consequences. However, the problem is when you've created this culture of lawlessness and people realize that people aren't actually getting punished, we all inside of ourselves, we have this innate need to see a consequence for bad behavior. And so the longer we allow this kind of stuff to continue without any meaningful punishment whatsoever, the more likely we are to see instances of people just saying enough is enough. If you guys aren't going to do anything, I'm going to do something.
Yeah, and Jason, I want to get this take from you because Lori Baxter, the Seattle mayor, a spokeswoman told Cairo, one of the affiliates up there, that we are not changing, have not changed the process or approach in the lead up to the All-Star game, meaning they're not just cleaning up the city so that the baseball game looks good come mid-July.
Yeah, they're 100% lying. They're trying to get away with some nonsense that's trying to claim that, oh, we've been cleaning up the city this entire time. I live here. I live very close to where the stadiums are. It's been an absolute mess. You've got drug use all over the place. It smells of urine the second you walk into the downtown zone. They clearly have stepped up. They're starting to clean out encampments. I'm glad that they are. Beggars can't be choosers. I'm glad that they're actually doing something here. The question will become, will they continue, or is it literally just to impress the MLB executives?
I want to get both you and Vic's take on this, and we're not going to play the song because she said a lot of stuff that offended a lot of people, but Jill Scott's anthem, she changed the national anthem to her own words from the Essence Festival. I'm just wondering, Jason, what you think about that.
It is disgusting. It is hypocritical. I love to hear these privileged celebrities who are multimillionaires talk about how this country is racist. There's systemic racism and institutionalized white supremacy everywhere. And yet somehow, some way, you have been able to succeed in this country. So maybe step back for a second and realize what this country has allowed for you to achieve, and maybe shut up with all of the criticism that, frankly, she's ignorant on and doesn't know what she's talking about.
And I wonder, Vic, is there any recourse for people who were offended by this? Is there anything in the legal system that says you can't do this? You can't just go out and change something that is a national institution.
You can always say, hey, I'm going to file a claim. I'm going to sue someone, the sports agency or whatever agency allowed that to be broadcast, but you don't have an audience and you're never going to get recourse. So really, this is a lesson in how big can the ego get and how do you actually put it in context? The audacity of an individual to change such a monumental and gravamen part of our history is just audacious and is unacceptable, but no legal recourse, Trace. Why? It's an unpopular vote.
Yeah, very interesting. Vikas Bajaj, Jason Rantz, gentlemen, thank you both. Matt Finn, as well to you.